Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. I hope you can hear me. I'm the mad scientist, Matt. You're watching the Rube Empire, so welcome. Join us. Let's go. I'm the mad scientist, Matt. You're magnanimous co-emperor. And I've got a perspective on things.
What you gonna do, brother? It is the strong one. I am back. I am jacked. I am so ready to get silly and thrilly today. And I've got opinions on things as well. Matt, are you ready to go today, brother?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Listen, I gotta slow the pace down because if I keep this ferocious pace, I will never finish the race. So I'm excited today to get started with you. I am in rare form today. The mad scientist, Matt, the strong one have united once again digitally not because we're afraid of the Rona, because nobody should at this point after the CDC report, but because Uncle Ray Ray had to work a little bit late today. But he's here and he will never miss a Wednesday, Lord willing, as long as the Lord lets this little meatball that we call a heart keep pumping every single freaking day. But you better buckle in, ladies and gentlemen. You better buckle in for the most ferocious show of all time. And before I get into the most ferocious show of all time, you got to follow us everywhere. We're on twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. And guess what? It's September. So if you've got a Prime membership, you can re-up that subscription for absolutely zero cost to you, my friends. And we appreciate everybody that's sponsored us, that has supported us along the way. So make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that follow, and definitely make sure you hit that subscribe on twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. That's twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. If you're checking us out on TikTok right now, this isn't the full show. You're only seeing my ugly mug. You gotta head over to twitch.tv/plausible foolishness to see this guy, the sexiest man I have ever seen, rock the glasses, the beard, the Mr. Incredible shirt, the mad scientist, Mad Matt, who's mixing it up today. And it's unbelievable what he is brewing in the laboratory. You are not ready for that whatsoever. But you gotta follow us everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Where the heck are we? We're on Parler? We're on Parler now, right?
Yeah, we're on Parler. We're on Parler.
We're on News Clapper. I mean, we're everywhere, bro. We are expanding faster than the universe itself.
Yowie.
You got to get jacked up. You got to be ready to go. But I am ready for what?
Well, that's right. Dusty Joe, yet again, with a gifted sub.
Yowie. Wow.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks,
Thank
Dusty.
you. Speaking of supporting us, just look a little bit down there. Right there, you might see a little button underneath this video that says donate. It's one way you can support us if you don't want to subscribe. All right, that doesn't go through Twitch. It goes through Streamlabs. Also, if you look down there, you might see a link to plausiblefoolishness.locals.com. And let me explain something to you. The strong one and I, we've been butting heads a little bit lately.
What?
Yeah, we've been butting heads. He's
Yeah,
been
well-
like, we have such great conversations before the show starts. We should put that on the show. And I'm like, but that's before the show starts. That's when we're planning out how we're going to talk during the show. You know, that doesn't make sense to me. And then a compromise was made.
What?
A compromise. A true compromise.
How long have I been saying this?
Not a right and left compromise where the left gets its way and the right does nothing.
What? Like typical
No, a
Republicans?
real compromise.
Okay.
So, starting today, we recorded. That's right. We recorded that conversation. All right? And that video is going to go on our community site at plausiblefoolishness.locals.com. Link is down below. All right? And if you become a supporter
What?
for $5, that's it.
What?
Just $5.
5?
You can watch every single one of those that we do from now on.
What?
And only if you're a supporter. Now you can join for free, and we post the regular episodes and the
Time out. You're going to let them in on the inner sanctum. That is the dojo, aka the Plausible Foolishness. You're going to let
Yes.
them into the king's throne to
Yes.
see what the
That's
two
right.
kings discusses before the show, the
Yes.
unfiltered show.
Yes. The King's Council.
The Raw, I don't give a crap. Uncle Ray Strong One and the Raw, I don't give a crap. Freaking Bad Scientist Mad Matt talking
Absolutely.
before the show. Oh my gosh, dude! I'm going. If I'm a wild on me right now, I'd throw $5 at the screen. I would make it rain on that bad. But what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Jump on that
Dusty
bad
Joe
boy.
says, "You mean I have to give you more money?" Okay, sounds good to me.
Dusty,
Oh,
we ain't too proud to beg, Dusty. We ain't too proud to beg here at Plausible Foolishness. We're trying to take it over the top to the moon, baby. Because one of our goals is the multi-stream, right? That's what we're trying to do next. is
yeah,
the
multi-stream is next, and then from there, you know, sky's the
What?
limit.
And we're already blowing up faster than the universe is expanding. It is
Well, that's
insane.
right. Because you know why? You know why that's true? You know why that's true? You know
Why is
why
that
we're
true?
the fastest growing podcast on Twitch, nay the world?
It's because we have Jesus in our heart.
Well, there's that. So
Okay,
that's
sure.
a plus. That's
Okay,
definitely a plus.
gotcha.
But also because we're actually a podcast now.
I like
And
it,
you
man.
can find us on Apple, Google, Spotify, TuneIn, Alexa. Submitted it to iHeartRadio. Haven't heard back yet, but
Ooh,
oh yeah, we're
everywhere.
everywhere you want to listen to podcasts. Not Stitcher. I can put it on Stitcher if you want. I mean, I guess.
Does anybody use Stitcher?
What's that? Well, apparently Dusty does.
With Rogan. Rogan's happening on Stitcher, right?
Is he?
Is that where Rogan's going?
I thought he was just staying on YouTube and just moving to Texas.
When's Rogan having us on the show? I thought we were supposed to be on the show.
Okay, so Dusty wants us on Stitcher. So, hey man,
All right.
he makes it rain. So,
Dusty, you make
Stitcher
it
it is, bro. I'll
Then
do
we're
it
gonna
tonight.
sing. We'll sing in the rain, whatever you want. Dusty. Bro, it's time to dunk on some people. Are you ready to dunk on some people? Listen,
Well, God didn't make me 6'9" for nothing.
That's true. He's 6'9", 37-inch vertical. Are you kidding me?
37-inch.
And you would come at the 6'4", 400 and fatty, 6-time All-American, 1-time national natty? Are you kidding me? You don't want to hang with that.
400-pound fatty.
You do not want to hang with this. I don't think you're ready for the form today. I'm ready, bro.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I came from the throes of death yesterday.
Listen,
There's so much stuff to talk about that we have to dunk on all these freaking liberals and all these Corona bros and all these Karens. I can't wait for today.
You know what I gotta say? I'm enjoying the promo openings that we've been doing the past few episodes.
What?
I'm enjoying hearing them out of your mouth, and I'm enjoying spitting them out of my mouth.
Listen, this ain't no promo. This is real life.
Oh, it is real life.
It's real life.
It is real life. And this is the way it's going. And if you don't like it, I got 2 words for you. Anyway.
Sorry, this is edited. We have to keep it a little bit family friendly. So it's time to dunk on people. It's time to give liberals 2 words, and I'm not saying liberal logic. I'm talking about you know what I'm talking about if you're a DX fan from back in the day. This is the jump up. I don't know if you've seen the video, Matt. It's in the Olympics, and Vince Carter, who's a native Floridian, Daytona, Florida, by the way, jumps over a 7-foot Frenchman and absolutely puts the nastiest dunk of all time on a human being. And when we're talking about posterizing, we're talking about not only posters, but this will go down in infamy as the nastiest dunk on another human being ever. And when I'm talking about dunk, I'm talking arm in the hoop, man bits in the person's face.
To the elbow?
To the elbow. I'm talking to the elbow dunk.
Wow.
And man bits all up in the defender's face. Dunking on them.
Wow.
This is how badly we bout to dunk on people. Because the mad scientist and the strong one have been chopping this up forever. We have been talking about this since January. Because unfortunately, For the libs of the world, you do not have people that will actually look at facts, truth, and give it to you. They won't do it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll see the future on the horizon and guide you right into the storm and tell you it's a bright, sunny day.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't do that here at Plausible Foolishness.
No, we don't.
We are two credulous rubes of this massive kingdom, the two kings that will lead you to truth and lead you to the promised land. And at this point, I'm getting tired of being right all the time. I'm over it.
Hmm.
Like, literally, Donald Trump has told, he was right. He's a prophet one more time. He told me I would get sick and tired of winning. He told me I'd get sick and tired of being right all the time. He told me all this stuff. Me personally.
I don't know if you're sick and tired of winning or if you're just sick and tired of talking about this.
I'm sick and tired of talking about it and being right. And here's the problem: is
and being right and having no one listen.
Yeah, yeah.
See, that's the real deal. I love being right.
No, listen, I love being right, but it is so funny because I was told how wrong, insensitive, evil, unchristlike, and when I was exposing basic truths about many of the things that we talk about on the show, only to be found true, to be found right 3 to 6 months later, which always happens, it's hilarious. And this one in particular, I've got to dunk on a little bit more. I've got to get in some Karen's grills. I've got to get into the Corona Bros grills because it is so absurd at this point that the Corona Bros still are fighting the losing battle. It is sad, depressing, because we told you this back in January. We told you that impeachment would be a dud. We told you it was dead on arrival to the Senate and that the Democrats would impeach Donald Trump in the House, but it would go absolutely nowhere. But the Democrats were smart enough to start the next thing that would distract you from the fact that, guess what? You can't impeach the guy. You actually got to vote him out. Now, I will give Democrat leadership enough credit. They are smart enough to calculate lies, and they know how stupid the American people can be sometimes. They know. They play on our stupidity, okay? Mm-hmm. They play on the fact that we don't actually research, we don't read anything anymore, we don't actually pay attention to things. We just consume and just accept that what's presented in front of us is truth. With that caveat,
one might say they've engineered that.
Oh, 100%. They're smart enough to engineer the craziness. So what they did was they took this ambiguous disease out in Wuhan, China, and told us, oh my goodness, this could be the pandemic. This could be the pandemic. This could be the world-ending pandemic. And we got to watch out for it. 2.2 million Americans will die. Remember that?
Yeah. But it's racist when Trump calls it the Chinese virus.
It's racist.
In fact, you should come on down to Chinatown. It's wonderful out here.
Doing dumb things again?
Yeah.
Oh, weird. I'll talk about that later in the show. But think about this. They shifted the moment they knew that nobody wanted Trump impeached. People would rather vote a person out than have them impeached. They knew it was bullcrap. They knew they had nothing on him. That's why it stood no ground. So they had to manufacture the next thing that would help them in the election. And they successfully engineered the lowest of the low information people in America to be terrified of a disease that we know how to kill on the back of Lysol cans. And they named it Corona. But then they realized, Corona's on the back of Lysol cans, so we got to call it what? COVID-19. And if you call it the Wuhan flu, you're a racist. If you call it the election infection, you're a conspiracy theorist. Mm-hmm. If you call it the Rona, you don't take it seriously and you don't have compassion or empathy. Because people will die. And guess what? We told you back in March. Go back. Do the Wayback Machine. When me and the mad scientists broke this down, what did we say, Matt? Oh, this will be like the flu. Mm-hmm. It'll be like,
most likely.
Most likely be like the flu.
We don't have all the information, but most likely it'll be like the flu.
And what's funny...
And should we And should we be shutting down everything when we don't have all the information?
And what did we say?
When it looks like it's infectious but not
Deadly.
deadly, not pandemic level deadly, not.
Now, you were told that you were a conspiracy theorist for saying, oh, yeah, it's highly infectious, but it's not going to kill anybody. It's not really going to kill anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
We were told we were crazy conspiracy.
Well, they were telling us that 85% of people who had it wouldn't even know or would have mild symptoms. That tells me, like, from the very beginning they were saying that.
100%.
That tells me, you know what? This might not be that dangerous. Why are we shutting everything down?
Because remember, at first, they said masks were ridiculous. Wash your hands and keep your distance from people. Remember? That's what they said.
Mm-hmm.
They told us this, right? Now, from any actual knowledge of diseases that absolutely eradicate and kill people like Ebola, you would take severe measures to prevent this from ever coming into your home or your world. But they're like, I mean, it's got mild symptoms and it could be highly infectious. We just gotta. What did they tell us? 15 days to flatten the curve. 15 days, right?
Yep.
Just to make sure we're
so
not.
So that the hospitals aren't overwhelmed.
Yep. And what did we get? Lockdowns, shutdowns. The world's gonna end. And
months and months and months.
Yeah. 15 days came by, and the numbers didn't spike or go crazy. And people weren't dying fast enough at the beginning of March. But wouldn't you know it, the 15 days ended, and then guess what happened? They kept the whole thing going. And then all of a sudden, the numbers just exploded out of nowhere. Now, for the Corona Bros, this was validation. Validation that this was deadly and killing everybody. But some of us, those strong one king of kings, the two kings, we read the reports and we're like, wait a minute, time on the field. It's kind of funny that all these numbers are spiking at the same rate that flu and pneumonia usually spike. But what's crazy is flu and pneumonia in America just disappeared. What? What? And magically, Corona somehow cured flu and pneumonia in the month of March. There was no flu or pneumonia deaths whatsoever. And then when the numbers kept going up, it was weird. Other deaths started disappearing. And you and I on this show said, dude, it sounds like they're just relabeling deaths to make this seem a little bit more deadly than what the initial pace was. Because guess what? If you stuck to the original pace that this was going to kill people in March, at the beginning of March, it would have killed about 10,000 people.
Now, let's be fair.
To be fair.
There were some states that had a significant amount of deaths.
Like New York?
Yeah, and Michigan. And, I think there was about like 5 or 6 states that really saw some really terrible deaths.
Yeah. Now, but the funny thing too is, we found out something else in April.
What was that?
They started labeling every death as COVID-19, even if it wasn't proven that the person had COVID-19.
Okay, that's interesting.
Strange.
Yeah, that is strange.
They dumped it on a Friday that they were telling hospitals to do this. They told hospitals, listen, label everything COVID-19. And we were told, based on the CDC report, that we were conspiracy theorists. Remember? We were told this. Oh, strong one. You're a conspiracy theorist. You're stupid. You don't know anything. You don't have an education. You can't read the reports. And I'm like, that's so funny because my background's in health. And what I did was take scientific research about health, about virology, about all this stuff that happens in the body. And I had to assess the information that I was reading. I was formally taught how to do this. Weird. And based on those numbers, I was like, they're just relabeling everything. And they're admitting it in the report, but nobody wants to see that because we're so terrified. Wear a mask, you're going to die, you're going to kill grandma, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Meanwhile, they were putting COVID patients into nursing homes and literally killing
They're literally
grandma
killing.
in those 5 states that we talked about earlier.
It's
5 or
they were,
6.
and they were all Democrat states. But
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah.
we wouldn't want to make this political, but let's get real. The Democratic states did this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about this. Like, listen, now the numbers are fraudulent because guess what? They're jacking the numbers up and they're labeling everything COVID-19, and nobody believes it's bullcrap. It's whatever. And then June rolled around.
Good old June.
Florida was going to be the next hotspot, and everybody was going to die in Florida. Remember that? And you know us Floridians,
Mm-hmm.
we don't listen very well. And you know what's funny is Fox 35 here in Orlando started looking into the COVID numbers and the corona deaths in Florida. And they found that there were 33 hospitals labeling every death as COVID-19. And what's even crazier is they were labeling every single person that tested for COVID-19 as 100% positive, which is statistically impossible. So they started questioning things. And then you knew what was happening, mad scientists. You knew what was going to come next. People were like, the government never lies. Why would they lie to us?
Why would they lie to us?
Then the CDC on a Friday released this report that they're paying hospitals more money to label people as COVID-19 deaths.
Huh. But there's no evidence that that's why they were doing that.
That was the justification. USA Today, left-leaning USA Today, even admitted that they're like, yeah, they're relabeling everything as COVID because they're getting paid more. But what did the libs say, mad scientists? What did they say? What was their...
That's only partly true, according to fact checkers, because there's no evidence that that's the reason why they, that they've been falsely, listing people as COVID patients to receive more money. That money is never a reason that anybody does anything.
No, money is not a motivator at all.
Yeah.
For profit hospitals, that's never a motivation, ever.
Deep State.
Why would they ever fudge the numbers?
Yeah. Deep State says Fauci's guidance has been flawless. Millions would have died otherwise. Millions. Mandatory masks will soon be a federal standard. For your health.
Yes. Thanks, Deep State. Appreciate you, brother.
We give it all to you.
So we give it back to you. Here's what's crazy. So Florida basically is like, this is kind of bullcrap. Ron DeSantis is like, this is kind of bullcrap. And what's funny is our numbers, even though they're massively inflated, proven by Fox 35 down here in Orlando, Florida, they kept running with the inflated numbers. But what's funny is they got really, really quiet, the Corona Bros, when they figured out that Florida was reporting more infections, but 1/10 of the deaths that New York was reporting. That's strange because we have a lot of old people here, right?
We do, yeah.
The average age of death by the Rona is 80 years old.
80
years old. You know what the life expectancy of an American citizen is?
If I remember correctly, it was 78?
78 years old. Weird. So people dying on average, the median age of death from this disease is older than what people are living. Now, we have a ton of old people in Florida. So weird. We should be the death capital, right? That's what the media sold us.
Mm-hmm.
They ignored the fact that they relabeled all the numbers. They ignored the fact that the numbers were inflated. They ignored the fact that hospitals were getting paid more COVID deaths. And they ignored the fact that with higher infections in Florida, we had 1/10 of the deaths. They ignored the science all the way through. And wouldn't you know it, it comes to the crescendo. Report came out on Friday, Matty. Guess what it said, Matt?
What's that?
The CDC, because like all lies, eventually you're going to have to cover your tracks, because when people look back, you're liable for false information.
Uh-oh.
You're liable for not reporting the truth, because eventually, it will all come to light. So on another Friday dump, because remember, they Friday dumped the fact that flu and pneumonia disappeared. They Friday dumped the fact that they're telling everybody to relabel COVID-19. They Friday dumped the fact that they were paying people more money for COVID-19. They they Friday dumped the fact that we're misreporting everything all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
The crescendo happened on Friday. Man, oh man. CDC just did a report, and
Ooh. Another CDC report.
Another CDC report, because you know what? If they get caught, they're in liable for false information. So they got to tell the truth, or they will get sued. Hence CNN, and who's the highest paid employee now at CNN?
One Nicholas Sandman.
Yeah. So when you say law, if you say things that are untrue, you can get sued for libel. So here's a beautiful thing.
Woo! Hit me with it.
Whoa. Horseman. Okay. CDC drops a report. And guess what it said in the report, Matt?
What does it say?
Out of the reported 180,000 corona deaths, because remember, it flashes on the screen. We're telling people are dying at a rapid pace. They're getting so close to that 2.2 million prediction that they said at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Out of that 180,000 reported deaths in the United States due to the corona, guess how many of the percentage actually died exclusively from COVID-19?
Well, clearly, because of how dangerous it is, it would be upwards of, I don't know, 60, 70, 80%, 90% even?
And listen,
95?
You would be right if you were the general public of America, because a month ago, people asked, like, hey, how many people do you think are dying from COVID-19? They were saying upwards of 30 to 40% of Americans have died from COVID-19. Because that's what the media spun us.
Was that a legit poll?
Yes, it was.
30 to 40%?
Like, there are people that literally believe that 30 to 40% of Americans were dying from COVID-19.
So, like 120 million people?
Millions. Like millions upon millions of people.
And yet, not a single one of them would have known a person who...
No, not one.
Yeah.
And most of you don't. Most of the viewing audience, you don't know a single person. Or barely known one. Had it, and it is a very small percentage of you that know people that have actually died from it, because the reporting came out, and guess what the percentage of the reported deaths are actually only COVID-19? 6%.
6%. Is that why the title of this episode is 6%?
You're gosh darn right.
6%. It's ridiculous.
Of the reported deaths of COVID-19 are exclusively of COVID-19. Let me give you some perspective, kiddos. Though very sad and tragic, 10,000 people went to their maker because of this disease. That is absolutely tragic.
Sure. 100%.
But at the large scale of things that actually kill Americans, that is a pinprick at best. And here's what's even more disturbing. Out of the 10,000 people that have actually died exclusively from COVID-19, 90% of them were 65 or older. Let me repeat that again. 90% of the 10,000 people that actually died from exclusively COVID-19 were 65 or older. Now, I'm not saying this to be like, oh, you're so mean and insensitive, strong one, because you don't care about people that are older. Here's a reality check for the Corona bros, the Karens, and the libs who, regularly kill and slaughter babies every single day. Yeah. And 99% of the time don't give a rat's ass about old people. But let's get real with ourselves. We are all going to die. All of us.
Fortunately true.
We're all going to die. I'm going to be in front of Christ Jesus. I pray to God, and I know with the faith that I have in Jesus Christ, that I've turned from my sins, that he will say, well done, my good and faithful servant, and I'm going to walk into those pearly gates. Not because I deserve it, because I didn't do jack crap. I did nothing. I am the scum of the scum. My salvation is only found solely in Christ Jesus, who came and lived a perfect life, died on the cross for my sins, and conquered death. I put my faith and trust in that, period, and that is what justifies me.
Can I get an amen in the chat?
Huh?
Can I get an amen in the chat?
Yes. Amen. Now, amen. We're all going to die. And the older you get, the higher the probability you're about to die. So as you get older, stick track with me, Matt. This is basic 101 math that we've all known this. The older you get, the closer you get to the end. Because we are not androids from Dragon Ball Z. We don't live forever. We don't live in perpetuity. As much as we want to say, I'm getting better, 40's the new 20. It's bullocks. It's not true. You are going to die. And the older you get, things like flu will kill you. Things like pneumonia will kill you. There's a reason why I don't go to my great uncle's house, who's 80 years old, when my kids or myself are sick. Why? Because they can't handle it. My great aunt is like the bionic woman. Okay, she's got 2 artificial knees. She's got a pacemaker. She's got a freaking metal plate in her skull. She's like Cyborg. If Cyborg were an 80-year-old woman hanging out in Lakeland, it would be my aunt, and I love her to death. But I'm not going to bring even the smallest sniffles from the cold to her home because she's 80 freaking years old. She's already at 2 years over life expectancy. She has won the life Olympics.
It's interesting that you're doing that. Did the state mandate that you don't?
No, you know it's weird. The state didn't have to mandate that because guess what? We have common effing sense. We have basic science that used to point us to health, but now they point us to an agenda or big pharma. But that's another story for another time. But here's the thing about this whole situation: 6% exclusively died from COVID-19. 90% of those deaths were 65 or older. Now, all the 100 and whatever it was, 170 plus reporting that they're overblowing to you. Guess what the average comorbidity was? Meaning multiple ways this person probably died. Guess how many it was?
How many comorbidities they had?
Yeah, how many comorbidities did the people that were reporting with Rona have that they're reporting?
Well, I don't know, maybe, I mean, at least 1. Maybe 2.
2.6.
2.6.
So
on average.
Those 170 that they're reporting had almost 3 different things that probably killed them that weren't COVID-19.
That or at the very least, weakened them so that they couldn't fight off what,
sure,
94% of the population could, or 99.9% of the population could.
But even that, because the Corona Bros will use that. Well, weaken their system so they're done. It's like AIDS. I had somebody literally say that COVID-19 is like AIDS. I'm like,
no,
shut up.
No.
Shut up. Shut up. You were so stupid. Shut
AIDS
up.
Literally, well, first of all, AIDS is the syndrome caused by the HIV. You probably didn't know that. But HIV literally attacks your T cells. And if you didn't know, T cells are your immune system.
It's weird.
That's different.
That is a debilitating thing that will erode your very inside.
Yeah.
Not sniffles round 19, okay?
Yeah.
Not the sniffles round 19.
Yeah.
But the Corona Bros will use that as, it weakened them to the point where it could kill them. I get that.
The comorbidities weaken them.
The comorbidities weaken them, yes.
In other words, they had to be weak in order for the coronavirus to kill them because the coronavirus is weak.
But here's the problem. The average age of death, the median age of death, is 80 years old. So that throws it out the window because the people that are dying have lived longer than what most people live.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
So they have comorbidities because they old.
This is astounding. And the report drops, and it is spreading like wildfire. And it should. You know why? Because for how long have we said that if we don't wear a mask, we're killing grandma? We've got to shut down every single part of our lives, including work that pays for the things that we do every single day, that shutting down the businesses, the small businesses that got completely destroyed, which is weird because mom and pop's grocery store had to shut down, but Walmart kept cooking.
Mm-hmm. We
Mom and
couldn't meet
pop,
together at the park, but you sure could, or at church,
yep,
or wherever. But you could
yep,
totally get together at Walmart, easy, no
yeah.
problem. As long as you only go one way down the aisles.
Yeah, did you notice that Publix quietly got rid of that, by the way, this week?
Yep, yep.
Publix is like, ooh,
Sam
Pub-
saw. My wife
Publix
saw
got the report.
an article about that.
Yeah, Publix got that report, and they're like, yeah, this is bullcrap. It's bullcrap. It's bullcrap.
To be honest, I'm gonna miss feeling superior to everybody when I ignore it.
Oh, that was fun. My buddy, my Trojans buddy, my USC Trojans buddy, he made that video. I think I showed it to you, where he was going backwards against the tape down lines. He's like breaking the law, breaking the law.
Breaking
Like,
the law, breaking
this
the
is great.
law.
It's great. But man, what's up, girl? How you doing, man? Amanda from T. Roy. By the way, sorry, side note. My wife saw your pictures online. She said that you are jacked. My wife was like, dude, she is jacked. It was one of my buddies from Troy. She used to be a swimmer, and now she's just jacked. She's got shoulder boulders right now. It's
I
awesome.
used to be a swimmer.
I know you used to be. That's the connection.
Well, there you go.
You need to come with me to
Well, she
Ohio.
needs to come over to twitch.tv/plausible foolishness.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, so back to what we're saying, right? Our whole lives shut down for 6% of the reported deaths. Sports almost got canceled because of 6%. They tried to convince you that it was super dangerous to go vote and perpetrate the ability for them to commit fraud by mail in voting because of the 6% vote. You couldn't travel to other countries because of a 6% vote. New York literally destroyed itself for 6%. Think about that. New York City is ravaged because of this.
Mm-hmm.
Illinois, New York, California, all these super loony lefty states have decimated their economies because of the hysteria of something that, of the reported deaths, kills 10,000 people.
I think the thing that really that's really astounding to me is the news out of the UK regarding this.
Did you see that?
I did.
Yeah, so that was an amazing point. And I'm going to get into UK in 1 second, but I just want to hammer one more point.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
In context, 10,000 people dying is absolutely tragic and sad. Totally sad.
Always, yeah, for sure.
But on average, the flu kills 50,000 people a year. A year.
Yep.
The flu kills 50,000 people a year. But guess what? We don't shut things down for flu season. Pneumonia kills 47,000 people a year. We don't shut things down. Car crashes kill about 30,000 Americans every single year. We don't stop driving. Okay?
No.
We
don't.
Opioids kill almost 40,000 people a year.
Hasn't stopped doctors from prescribing pain medicine.
Doctors keep prescribing those pain meds. 40,000 people will die from addiction and overdose of this. But we don't shut down Big Pharma because Big Pharma got to make that money. Like, think about this. But you got your whole life shut down for something that killed 10,000 people, a fifth of what the flu does. And the only way you can look at this at this point is it was purely political. Because they're still trying to hold on to this going into November to try to help Mr. Joe. Because think about it. The Democrats keep saying, oh, this is a tragic, this is a monumental failure of the president. Well, that report makes Donald Trump look pretty darn good. Think about that. It makes him look phenomenal because it's like, a lot of these people are going to die anyways, and only 10,000 people. I should get a Nobel Peace Prize, but Orange Man died, so you're not going to give it to me. And remember, this happened in China. And that's what we keep forgetting. Like, China right now, or was it 2 weeks ago? They had a freaking EDM pool party
in the city, in ground zero.
Yes, this is the epicenter of where everything was supposed to kill us, right? And they're having a pool party smashed together with thousands of people having EDM lights. Okay, this is amazing.
Yep.
But this is what's even staggering. And my man, I'm glad you brought this up because I totally forgot about this.
Mm.
This is why you're the mad scientist. This is why you do what you do. And that's why I love you so much.
Oh.
Quietly, on the same week, the CDC drops the fact that only 6% of the reported deaths are exclusively coronavirus. The UK dropped a very damning report on the world. You know what it said?
Hit me with what it said.
And
I know what it said, but I think the Rube Empire needs to know what it says.
Yeah, so Rube Empire, if you're not following us on Instagram, make sure you head over to Plausible Foolishness on Instagram. There are so many news nuggets that we drop every single day. You got to go check out some of this. A lot of the facts that we're bringing to the show, I'm bringing it to you way before the show so you can keep in contact with us. So that's why you're going to follow us everywhere, man. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you like you getting your information. You got to head over there.
Bobby the Bull said that the EDM party in Wuhan inspired a new internet mascot called Flood Chan. Interesting.
Gosh, but
interesting.
The UK on the same day that the CDC finally reported how not lethal this is, dropped a report that simply stated since March of 2020. Wait, March 2020. When was that? Was that when this all started?
I kind of feel like that's accurate, yeah.
They knew in March of 2020.
March 19th. I'm looking at Instagram right now. Do you want me to read this?
March? Yeah, please read it for the people, man.
Okay. As of 19th of March 2020, COVID-19 is no longer considered to be a high-consequence infectious disease in the UK. The four nations...
No. You went way too fast through that.
Okay, my bad.
Because people are... Listen, there are low information people that even listen to us. Not the people that subscribe to us. Kyle Steve says, frickin' marks. There are frickin' marks out there that are not watching this right now. So please read that again for the people so they catch them.
My bad. As of 19th of March, 2020, COVID-19 is no longer considered to be a high consequence infectious disease or an HCID in the UK.
Think about that, kids. Think about what you just heard from the United Kingdom, aka England. Since March 19th, the scientists of the UK, because UK is a third world country, right?
Yeah. And this is from www.gov.uk.
This is from their government official site. This dropped the same day the CDC exposed the fact this is not that deadly. They reported since March 19th, 2020, they knew that this was not deadly or a threat.
Let me read further. The Four Nations Public Health, HCID group, made an interim recommendation in January 2020 to classify COVID-19 as an HCID. This was based on consideration of the UK HCID criteria about the virus and the disease with information available during the early stages of the outbreak, which is what we said.
Yep.
Now that more is known about COVID-19, the public health bodies in the UK have reviewed the most up-to-date information about COVID-19 against the UK HCID criteria. They have determined that several features have now changed. In particular, more information is available about mortality rates. Low overall, they have in parentheses. And there is now greater clinical awareness and a specific and sensitive laboratory test, the availability of which continues to increase.
if Matt, if I could turn, if gamma radiation hit me right now, like a gamma radiation bomb hit me right now, and I survived, you would not see the sexy brown bearded man you would see in front of me right now. You would see a hulking green monstrosity jumping through the ceiling and smashing the CDC to bits.
Would I have
And
to
then,
would I have to gently rub your palm and whisper sweet nothings to you to calm you down?
sun's getting low. Sun's getting low, strong one. Sun's getting low. And then I would proceed to jump with all my gamma radiation Hulk powers to New York and DC and smash the media to bits. This is the biggest hoax. How do I say this gently to my audience without them getting completely frazzled? 9/11 was an absolute tragic day. The more information that comes out about it, unfortunately, the story of the 16 box cutting terrorist solely acting alone disappears very quickly when you realize how many people knew that they were there and how many people allowed them to do what they did. Now, you don't have to trust me on this. Don't believe, like I said, with anything that I say, don't believe a word that I say. Go look it up for yourself. Okay? But keep in mind, 9/11 was used to perpetrate the Patriot Act on us because Bush used that to literally have the ability to spy on us. And Obama took that crap over the top. 9/11 was the flashpoint. And you can look up this stuff for yourself. Don't believe me. Don't trust me. Give them some X Files because some people still think this is a conspiracy. Even though it's proven, but go ahead and give it to them. Now, with that being said, Rona, COVID-19, Wuhan flu, China disease, the Kung flu, the election infection is a flashpoint that was used to take away your rights quietly. And it was a crap test to see how much you would put up with and how compliant you would be to the government. It is. It was a crap test to see that with an election coming up, because think about it, the rest of the world does not give a rat's butt about Rona right now. Like, think about this. The UK is still making people wear masks, which is hilarious, even though they just reported. If I was in the UK, I would be losing my crap about it. That literally, since the 19th of March, they knew that this wasn't deadly. I would be pissed.
And you don't hear about it until now.
Yeah, and only hearing about it now. Well, it just takes a while for the scientists to get the report out, and that's what the Corona Bros will say. But it's ironic that they dropped it the same exact week, that the CDC let the cat out of the bag. And the Democrats are going to use this to try to smear Donald Trump because the shutdowns because of Trump because he didn't act. But the problem is this report blows up that narrative because only 10,000 people died from a disease that came from China. And they're going to use this to enact social distancing that isolates you from other people. They're trying to isolate you because it is way easier to control people when they're isolated than when they're not. They're trying to keep you locked in homes so that you are always in front of a screen because that's what we're doing right now. That's what the Patriot Act allows America to do. They know what we're saying, what we're doing all the time. To the point where Facebook...
It's just the metadata. It's just the metadata.
Just the metadata, right? But they've used this now because think about it. Facebook is kicking anybody off that reports a CDC reported finding. Keep that in mind. That's what's so absurd about this. You saw that, right? They're kicking.
No, I didn't see that. I knew that they were kicking people who were talking about Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah. So they needed something because Orange Man was kicking ass so much to try to stop this election. The rest of the world's kind of given up on it. They're like, oh, whatever. And by the way, kudos to the president of Tanzania. Everybody thought he was a quack, but he early on took he took goat's DNA and he took a pawpaw fruit's DNA submitted it. They both tested positive for COVID-19, and he literally said this is complete bullcrap. Have you noticed that in Africa, the numbers for COVID, they don't report them at all? Have you noticed that?
Hmm.
Because the
How about that?
Africans, even though the rest of the world craps on Africa, literally looked at this and said, "This is bullcrap. Help me out with a real pandemic, which is HIV and AIDS that we're struggling with,
Mm-hmm. And Ebola from time to time.
and Ebola that we have to deal with from time to time."
Literally a flesh-eating disease. It's
But guess what, man?
horrible. And
Listen,
we're over here, Corona.
Corona. But hey, listen, it's so funny how this all comes together. And so let me just say this: as I'm hanging from the rim and my man bits are dangling in your face, Corona bro, as my man bits are dangling in your face, Karen, and all of you religion people trying to defend this stupidity. The war's over. It's lost.
We're trying to
If you
defend.
believe
Sorry,
yeah,
I didn't mean to interrupt, but I
go
gotta
ahead. Go
say it.
ahead.
They're trying to defend the virtue of their fear.
Yep.
They feel morally superior to you,
Yep.
and that's why they defend it.
Yep.
Because when you got that elbow in the rim, and when you got your junk in their face,
Man bits.
they're no longer superior.
Sorry, I thought my bicep was looking jacked there for a second.
I thought so too.
It's an illusion. It's an illusion. But no. But the expert. There were experts in America trying to tell you this is bullcrap.
Yeah.
They got kicked off of YouTube.
They needed to be ignored and kicked off of social media, and
Yes.
they were dangerous doctors.
They were dangerous. They were misleading you. They were giving you false information. And what's been so funny to me, and I said this earlier on the show, the preview show, watching people who pretend to be PhDs and doctors try their hardest to defend this. They try so hard to defend this report and say, well, I mean, they still have to keep the reporting at 180 because of the 2.6 COVID. Dude, it's over. You told us this would kill 2.2 million people. You told us we had to sacrifice our lives, our professions. Because you got to think about this, bro. Like, I mean, a lot of people were affected.
Mm-hmm.
My dad just got back to work like last week. I mean,
yeah.
dude,
and where's the reporting on? Where's the reporting on the suicides caused by staying at home all day?
I lost my buddy David because, I mean, I don't want to say this on the show, but it is what it is. He jumped back into, he relapsed and OD'd because he was locked down in his house in bullcrap, Ohio. So people were dying that should have never died from this, or they didn't even die from COVID. They were a residual effect of this stupidity. Because there was a report that came out that said that more young people were dying from suicide through this pandemic than actually from the disease.
Yep.
But and it's amazing.
But who cares about them so that Karen can feel virtuous in her fear?
So Karen can feel good. So Corona Bro can tell you that if you are not equally afraid of this like I am, you're a bad person.
Yep.
That is all this was. And what's funny is they will duck, hide, and cover, but I will never stop reminding you that you fell for this crap. I'm never going to. I'm never going to stop reminding you, liberals, that you fell for the Russian collusion delusion. I will never stop reminding you that you fell for Ukraine Gate, which was a crock of crap. I will never stop reminding you that it was super unpopular to impeach a president who didn't do anything. I will never stop reminding you that weapons of mass destruction never existed. I will never stop reminding you that 9/11 was used to take away your rights. I'm going to keep saying it until they, lock me up, because eventually they're going to lock up all us Christians anyways. They're going to throw away the key. They're going to feed us to the lions. But guess what? I cannot wait to sing that martyr song in front of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I will be ready for that day. Hallelujah, Jesus Christ. I'm ready to rock.
Woo!
But all I'm trying to say is this: I will never stop reminding you of this, because this will happen again and again and again. And they will try this every 4 years, every 2 years, that they want you to vote a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's get real, all of this craziness that's happening, out there right now. The Democrats are projecting onto the Republicans all of a sudden because now they're like, oh, shoot, in the focus groups, it looks bad that they're rioting and Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm. Well, last week we talked about that. Don Lemon.
Yeah.
Biden really needs to
Right?
talk down the riots because, because lives are being lost? No. Because it makes the Democrats look bad.
100%. Listen. And I get it. People will hold on to it. Even on TikTok right now. I love you, but you got to look this up. There were no weapons in mass destruction. Sorry. I'm sorry. I really want to hold on to the narrative, but it wasn't true. Building 7 collapsed, and nothing hit it. Like, you got to look this stuff up, guys. Stop believing the narrative. 90% of the things that they tell you were not true. And I'm telling you this as a person that's telling you that all the information that I'm telling you, vet it all. Don Lemon finally wakes up and says, oh my gosh, this looks bad for the Democrats because the American people, the American people are literally equating the violence to the Democrats. Gee, Don, I wonder why.
Yeah, that's weird.
And now they've turned it around 360, and now they're trying to project it onto the Republicans, aka Donald Trump. But guess what? The American people are not that dumb. They're dumb, but they're not that dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And what's crazy is you wouldn't have this many people rioting, going crazy or whatever, if they actually worked or had a job. But guess what? You decided to shut down everything in the world for something that was the sniffles. Crazy. Now, with that being said, how rich is it? And this is, listen, we've given an hour to the coronavirus, and I'm tired of talking about it. We've won the battle. We have dunked on you. We have ended your playoff run, Rona. I am sorry. It's done now. It is what it is.
Let's get back to business.
Football. Listen, last Saturday I sat there like the fat, happy former athlete, strength and conditioning coach that I am, and watched college football kick off on Saturday night. And believe you me, even though it was two tiny Division I schools, Austin P versus Central Arkansas, it was the most entertaining 3.5 hours of my life. I was watching it like I was watching the national championship game, bro. I was so jacked. I was jacked to the you-know-whats.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what, man? We're watching college football happen. We're about to watch NFL football. What did I say? What was it, the other prediction I made about this? The moment that football comes back, all of this will start disappearing. By the time the election happens, you will never hear word one from the media from coronavirus. And by Christmas, there won't be a peep and not a single person other than the Karens and the Corona Bros that want to hold on to. It was the Russians that want to hold on to the lie. Will still be wearing masks, and the rest of us will be telling him the 2 words that DX used to say all the time. Now, it's so funny that, they took away our rights to save our lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, kind of like an abusive. What did you say earlier in the show? Were you the one that told me it was like, it's kind of like how? Oh, no, I was watching this earlier. He made a really good analogy. He said, like, the government taking our rights away for the Rona is like an abused woman that tells people, well, he only hits me when I'm being bad. He only hits me when I'm being bad. They're only taking rights away.
I shouldn't have made him angry.
I shouldn't have made him angry. And the government's only taking away my rights because I'm not wearing their mask. Like I told, I mean, how many times have you heard that? If we could just wear our masks, we'd get over this, right?
Yeah.
It's our fault that they perpetrated this bollocks, this hoax. I can literally say that freely. It's a hoax at this point. No. Did people die from corona? Yes. It's a fraud. It's a fallacy at the level that they tried to project this at.
Yeah.
This level of hysteria and fear, it's a hoax now, okay? But what's funny is politicians, track with me. You're going to think I'm crazy for saying this, okay? Track with me. Politicians never. Listen, are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Bring it. Let's go. Let's go.
Politicians never lie.
Okay.
With their actions. Let me repeat that. Politicians never lie with their actions. Now, they lie till the cows come home. They are the most deceitful human beings on the planet other than lawyers. But here's the reality of the situation. They will never lie about their actions. Can I give you an example, Mr. Whaley?
I would love to see an example. Give me an example.
How we were told that the world was ending and everything would die. We'd all be dead within 12 years because of global warming, right? Because the sea levels would rise, we'd all be dead, correct?
Yes.
Even though that's
Yes.
been
That was
rescinded
that was
by Dr. Rosenberg, who came out and said literally, I helped out with the hysteria for COVID-19. It's about the same. It's hysteria. Sorry, for climate change.
mm-hmm.
Obama told us that we would all be dead if we didn't switch over to wind power, right? Because the oceans were rising.
Yeah. It was AOC who put the 12 years out there, but
Yes.
Obama, I mean, Obama wanted us to be in the Paris Accords and all
Biden
that.
said 11.
Oh
Biden
yeah.
said 11 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you remember saying that, but he said 11 years.
Oh, did he?
Listen, Al Gore told us, man, the
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Congress would be extinct by now, right? Remember?
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
would be
Oh,
gone. Where we live wouldn't exist, man. But what's crazy is a couple things. Polar bears are thriving now. We still live in Florida. The ocean levels haven't risen. And you know what's crazy? Obama, who told us that the ocean levels would rise and we'd all be dead from climate change, bought beachfront property at Martha's Vineyard.
Hmm. That's weird.
We're all gonna die.
Well, maybe the seas wouldn't rise there.
The seas wouldn't rise there, but everywhere else, you've got to
Gotcha.
comply. You've got to do what we're telling you to, because you're killing the world. But I'm going to get
America needs to pay trillions of dollars.
Crazy. Bill de Blasio, remember Bill de Blasio?
Unfortunately,
the mayor of New York. He told us that Corona was so deadly that we had to shut down the gyms in New York. And you know what he did the next morning?
Tell me, what did he do?
He got caught going to the gym.
No, that's impossible.
No, it literally happened. He got caught going to the YMCA. Here's another one. Lori Lightfoot, mayor of Chicago.
So basically, he shut down the gyms, and then his people made sure that a YMCA opened up, just so that he and his entourage could go in and he could work out.
Correct. Now, he lied with his mouth, but not with his actions. Okay? Lori Lightfoot, the Beetlejuice-looking mayor up there in Chicago. Okay?
Yes.
She told us that the Rona was so deadly that you couldn't even get your hair cut in Chicago because you can't do that or you might get the Rona.
You might get it. You might get it.
But then she got the Rona. Or then she got her hair cut. And she didn't get the Rona.
What?
So weird. She went and got her hair cut after she just told businesses that they couldn't open up to cut people's hair. Strange. So strange,
That is strange.
Yeah.
It's like these people are... I mean, I hate to say it, but it's like these people are hypocrites.
No, they would never be. Yeah, they're all hypocrites. And the latest addition to politicians never lie with their actions goes to Miss Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, she's awesome. She's the best. She's greatest. The GOAT.
Now, to be fair, she is not in control of legislation in the state of California. She's not.
No.
She's a senator representing the Californian interest in the Senate for California.
Or in House of Representatives.
House of Representatives, sorry. Too bad. House of Representatives. That impeached Donald Trump, by the way.
Yeah.
That went away really quick.
Yep.
Remember, she's Mrs. Rip up the.
Oh yeah.
How many lies?
She's awesome. She's just.
She's amazing. She is
every time she talks, I'm just in rapt attention.
Unbelievable. Now, in her state, you're not allowed to get a haircut because the salons are shut down still in California.
So she's out there campaigning in solidarity with the business people that just want to get back to work and provide livelihoods for their families, right?
No. She just, she went and got her hair cut.
So she went and made
Yes.
sure that the salon that she prefers
Yes.
opened just for her so that she could go in and get her hair cut.
Yes.
Was she wearing a mask at least?
Not even close. I was not wearing a mask, which is funny because some people have to wear masks to get their hair cut. So she's not wearing a mask. She has the salon that does her hair open up. Because again, politicians don't lie with their actions. If you want to know what a politician truly believes, ignore everything they say. And in fact, that's a pretty honest thing across the board, right? For people, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could say and talk a big game, but your actions usually prove out to who you really are. Nancy is all for the lockdown. She's all for we got to watch out. Trump's done a horrible job of keeping us protected. And California's got to lock down for the safety of the people, and you can't cut hair in. But I need my hair cut.
You know, she released a statement today.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah, yeah. She released a statement about
business
Salon
owner
Gate. What's that?
After the business owner, kudos to the business owner. Business owner releases the video of her actually being in there.
Yeah, and says it was a slap in the face.
I would too, because I'm like, wait a minute, time on the field. You shut down my livelihood, but you expect me to open up to cut your hair.
Yeah.
But then I got to close that immediately after you leave. Piss off. I'm sending this to the media. Thank God. But go ahead.
I'll take your money though.
Take your money.
Thanks for the money. Piss off. Yeah, she released a statement about this because she's getting lit up, and she didn't know. I'm sorry, I didn't know it was wrong.
How does she not know that?
How? I mean, she had to get her people to call the business owner and get her to open up.
Strange. But, I mean, that's typical for politicians because they represent where they live. But they live in D.C. now. So
yeah, exactly.
In D.C. So when they're there...
Big problem.
Probably don't know what's going on. Maybe it's probably what term limits are important because she's been there for, as long as Abraham's been alive. Abraham? Mother Abraham?
I love the meme that just lists all the people, all the people in charge. Schumer and Pelosi and so on, and how long they've been in office.
Yep.
And yet Trump's only been in office for 3 years now.
But he's the problem. I mean,
he's the problem with America.
After 47 years of public service, Biden's got the solution.
The solution,
Think
yes.
about that. 47 years, yeah.
Yep.
But this speaks to a larger thing that we talk about on a regular basis, which we've covered all the stories before. But the Democrats, and here, I try to be objective because, trust me, and I said this in the show earlier, okay, in our super secret show, but if there's a Republican, and there are Republicans out there that come out and they're pedophiles, I'm going to take them to the freaking cleaners, okay? It is what it is. If you are a straight up pedo and they're out there, period, there's idiots out there. There are people just as dumb on that Republican side as the Democrat side. I will take them to the cleaners, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But what's crazy in the last, let's say 8 years, even before the Trump wave, is there so much liberal logic going on out there where these guys say one thing and do a complete other thing. These guys say there's rules for thee, but not for me.
Mm-hmm.
And we fall for this. And you keep voting for it because Pelosi's been in office for, since Moses parted the Red Sea. I mean, think about it. Like, she's been there since then. And you keep voting for her. I hope this is the thing that breaks her. I honest to God hope that Salon Gate is the thing that ends her because even Californians, even loony, fruity, nutty, crazy Californians are finally starting to wake up like, gee, dude, like, we keep voting for, like, Democrats, and they keep, like, screwing us over. Like, bruh, like, this sucks, bro. This is, like, nah, bruh. I think we need to, like, vote for, like, the What's the other party called? Bro?
It's like the
Oh, the Republicans. Oh, I guess Orange Man not that bad. And of course I'm being facetious. But here's the deal. I happen to coach at a very small institution. I don't know if you've heard of it before, mad scientist, but place called UCLA.
sounds familiar.
Listen, most of you, listen, check out my credentials because all the Corona bros, all the OK Karens, all the libs out there that don't believe me, I coached at UCLA. Now, here's what's crazy about UCLA. To get into that school, you have to have like a 4.5 GPA. You have to be brilliant. This isn't USC where they just study how to put films together. This is an actual real school with like real science and stuff like that. Okay, so the kids that go there are very brilliant, very smart kids. But when their dumb strength coach is pointing out the abhorrent hypocrisy of their politics, even the straight leftist, brilliant UCLA people are like, you know what, Coach Dub? I don't usually agree with you. I think you're right on this. When you're losing the stronghold in Los Angeles, and I have insider information, because I made a very bold prediction back in March. What was my bold prediction about California?
That California would go red this election cycle.
California will go red.
Barring, mail-in voting, of course.
Now listen, I'm right 99.9% of the time. Okay.
That's that's Rushbow level accuracy.
Rushbow. Snurgly. Okay, listen. Got to give him props. That would be better.
The OG.
The OG. Okay. Listen, I'm usually 99.9% right on this stuff. Okay. Subsequently, which is the survival rate of Corona 19 or COVID 19 now with the new reporting. But if I'm going to be wrong, it's probably going to be on this. But man, if I'm right, I am coming back on this show, full elbow in the rim, banjo dingling in the faces of all of you haters out there that literally thought I was crazy. But I made a bold prediction that California would finally come to its senses and say, screw this, I'm not doing this anymore. The last president to carry California was Ronald Reagan. Remember that guy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The problem with our liberal friends is they know so much. what is the quote? They know so much about things that there are something about whatever. He basically just makes fun. He calls them out. They think they're brilliant, even though they're complete idiots. He's the last guy that carried. Or sorry, here I'll give you a better Ronald Reagan. Read my lips, Gorbachev. Tear down this wall. That's my best Ronald Reagan. I'm not that good at Ronald Reagan. Okay, my Reagan's game is not strong. Okay. However, he carried California because at some point people realized that Jimmy Carter absolutely sucked. At some point, there's a breaking point, even for Californians that look around and say, man, why is everybody leaving our state? Man, why is it getting dirtier? Man, why does it suck so bad? Man, why do I keep putting politicians like Nancy Pelosi in power when they don't do jack piss for me?
I got that quote.
Go ahead.
Well, the trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant. It's just that they know so much that isn't so.
They know so much about things that aren't so. I feel you. Rest in peace, Reagan. I hope he's in heaven. I hope he's a Jesus follower, but he's a little crazy, He's into aliens and stuff. But anyways, that's another story for another time. Now, Star Wars. Okay. Anyways. Now, even in the Bible, the prodigal son, at some point, is eating from the slop troughs of a farmer's pig, okay, or a pig pen, okay.
Yep.
And realizes
pigs being foul and unclean to the Jewish person.
Disgusting pigs eating the slop with pigs. That thought, man, if I just returned to my father's house as a servant, I would be eating way better than this. My dad would treat me so much better than this. And he leaves the hellhole that he's in and goes back, the prodigal son. It's the term prodigal son. Most of you people that don't know Christ, most of the stuff that you say comes from the Bible. Prodigal son, Bible. Hypocrite, Bible. There's so many things that you use on a regular basis that come from the Bible. But let me give you a Bible lesson. Even the prodigal son said, yeah, this sucks. I got to go back. And I think this is the year that my Californian brothers and sisters, my conservatives out on the loony left coast, finally uprise and tell people this is absurd and insane. Why are we putting people like Nancy Pelosi in power? This is insanity. But this might be the time, bro. And especially, which leads us to the next part, with all the craziness that's going on in America right now, all the riots, all the absurdity, all the insanity. I think there's a loony leftist that runs the city of Portland. You want to talk a little bit about that, my man?
Yeah. Why don't we just play what he has to say?
Yeah, I want to hear what the left has to say.
All right. Let's do that. What? That's not right. Give me 1 second.
You're good.
Set this up, but it didn't take.
Epstein update?
No, we don't have an Epstein. Oh, we do have an Epstein update.
What's the Epstein update?
Epstein didn't kill himself.
Oh, yeah, he still didn't kill himself. That's weird.
Yeah, still didn't kill himself.
Okay, go ahead, man. Fire away.
Give me... Okay. That's weird. And go. Why are you doing that? Okay. Let's do it this way.
Yesterday's events began with hundreds of cars filled with supporters of the president rallying in Clackamas County and then driving through downtown Portland. They were supported and energized by the president himself. President Trump, for 4 years, we've had to live with you and your racist attacks on black people. We learned early about your sexist attitudes towards women. We've had to endure clips of you mocking a disabled man. We've had to listen to your anti-democratic attacks on journalists. We've read your tweets slamming private citizens to the point of receiving death threats. And we've listened to your attacks on immigrants. We've listened to you label Mexicans rapists. We've heard you say that John McCain wasn't a hero because he was a prisoner of war. And now you're attacking Democratic mayors and the very institutions of democracy that have served this nation well since its founding. Do you seriously wonder, Mr. President, why this is the first time in decades that America has seen this level of violence? It's you who have created the hate and the division. It's you who have not found a way to say the names of black people killed by police officers, even as people in law enforcement have. And it's you who claimed that white supremacists are good people. Your campaign of fear is as anti-democratic as anything you've done to create hate and vitriol in our beautiful country. You've tried to divide us more than any other figure in modern history. And now you want me to stop the violence that you helped create. What America needs is for you to be stopped so that we can come back together as one America while recognizing that we must demand that all people, black, brown, white, every color, from every political persuasion, pull together and hold all people accountable in stopping racism and violence, and we together are peaceful again under new leadership that reflects who we really are, we the people of this great nation. President Trump, you bring no peace. You bring no respect to our democracy. You, Mr. President, need to do your job as the leader of this nation. And I, Mr. President, will do my job as the mayor of this city.
Yeah.
As the President of the United
All right, that's enough.
Yeah, I can't, because how many lies did he just spin on that one? First of all, correction. Here's the problem: John McCain isn't an American hero not because he got caught in. And I appreciate John McCain's service to the United States of America. Now, this is going to sound crazy to my hardcore, massive Republicans out there, but John McCain is not an American hero because he's a freaking traitor to American ideals. If you look at his political record, it's not very good. The Group of Five, don't look that up if you really want to keep John McCain in high regards. He's also the guy that really lied for Obama and ultimately was the deciding vote that made Obamacare tax a reality in America. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to besmirch the man's military service by any means, but that doesn't make him immune.
And
to
we
his
all thought it was
stupidity as
dumb
well.
when Trump did it. We were
Yeah,
all like,
100%.
ugh,
Yeah.
gosh, come on.
Yeah. Trump should never attack someone's military service. But you can be a military guy and still make stupid decisions after the fact that I can call you to task on all day long.
For sure.
Period.
And
So,
this mayor from Portland, oh, he's a big John McCain fan.
oh yeah,
I'm sure. He's a
of course.
big.
Huge.
Oh yeah, he loves John McCain, the
Stop.
neocon Republican.
And here's the other thing: the good people on both sides has been debunked so many times.
Yes.
It's
The
insane.
racism against black people
Oh, dude,
junk has been
debunked.
is ridiculous.
Because here's the thing: is like anybody that says there are black people getting killed every single day in America by police is a laughable idea. Our average for over the last 10 years, we have averaged 375 million police interactions that have resulted, on average, 230 black men being killed in America. So do that math. Do that math. Your likelihood of a black man being killed by a cop is lower than being struck by lightning at those percentages.
Yep.
Like, you got to think about that. It is incredibly,
especially if you aren't resisting.
Oh yeah, if you're not resisting arrest, what's your likelihood of getting killed by a cop? It's non-existent. It's non-existent. Like the other thing that people are not understanding is, out of all the 235 black men that were killed by cops in 2019, 225 of them were armed and shooting back at the cop. Out of the 10 men that were unarmed, 8 of them were justified because they were threatening or attacking, and the 2 that were unjustified, both police officers are in jail. So what are you talking about? What
Exactly.
are you talking about? And
Exactly.
like,
have you seen that video with it's got MAGA Hulk and 3 other guys
yeah,
in it, and the one guy's like, this is how I put it. BLM is like, I've got a massive head wound and a leg fracture. I got in a horrible accident and a cut on my finger. BLM is the medic who runs up and wants to treat my finger. What about my head wound? What about my fractured leg
yes,
with the bone sticking out? This is not a problem.
no, it's not. It's not.
Great point.
I mean, how many times? I mean, and here's the thing too: is like, even along those lines, why won't he say the name of black people? Because at the end of the day, there's a thing called, giving things time to actually see what happens. Because let's get real, the NBA looks like a bunch of jackasses because they shut down everything, protested playoff games for a guy who ended up trespassing on the woman that he sexually assaulted, raped, and beaten. So you shut down your league in protest of Black lives, specifically for Jacob Blake, who, come to find out, resisted arrest, went to a woman's house that he had already raped and assaulted. He's literally a wife-beating rapist who, once the police confronted him because he had an active warrant, resisted arrest and went for a knife. You shut down your league for that. Because you got to say the black person's name. You can't take a 10-second clip and write an entire narrative around it, but that's the problem. We always do that. But those are the things. Even George Floyd. George Floyd has been found to be taking lethal doses of fentanyl. The knee didn't kill him, kids. It's going to hurt some feelings. But that knee, though it looked bad, didn't kill him. You know what killed him? The lethal doses of fentanyl in his system that he took. The guy was a drug dealing idiot, a guy who held a gun to a pregnant woman's head, and you're using him as a platform to burn down your city and kill people? Spare me.
Yeah.
Breonna Taylor, don't drink, don't date drug dealers and be active in the drug game with him.
Yep.
This is common sense. It's
Yep.
common sense.
Especially when you have the training to be a nurse or an EMT or whatever it was. It was an EMT.
But she wasn't even doing that. She hadn't been an EMT for 2 years.
Well, yeah, I wonder
She was
why.
in a trap house, running money and running drugs.
Yeah, she thought she could make more money running drugs, and
You
it
gotta
cost her
rip
her
those
life.
God, man, it's so ridiculous.
But you know what?
That is the absurdity.
But you know what? You know what?
What?
Trump's the one pushing hate and division.
Oh yeah,
Trump is the one. And here, right now, I'm gonna play for you the proof.
Prove it.
Y'all are not angry, you're not paying attention. If y'all are not angry, you're not with me.
Everybody wake up!
Everybody needs to realize what's going on in these streets. Our community can hold its own without the police. We can take out the trash on our own. I am not sad that a
Let me start that over again. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that.
I can hear it. It sounds good.
Oh, you can hear it? I couldn't hear it. Oh, that's why.
I can hear it, bro.
My
The
bad, my bad.
live feed can hear it. Let the people hear.
Yeah, sorry. I'm playing it again. I couldn't hear it.
y'all are not angry, you're not paying attention. If y'all are not angry, you're not with me.
Everybody wake up!
Everybody needs to realize what's going on in these streets. Our community can hold its own without the police. We can take out the trash on our own. I am not sad that a fucking fascist died tonight.
That was after that Trump supporter got murdered in the streets of Portland because he
Crazy.
dared to support the president in Portland, where that's not allowed anymore.
They can police themselves. See, we don't need the police. We can just go kill Trump supporters.
Yep. And that's, I mean, right there. Trump pushing hate and division right there. Right there.
And I'm not laughing at the death because it's absolutely tragic that a man who just happens to support a politician gets killed for that belief.
Yeah. And granted, he was with the group that drove into the city to, to exercise his right to peaceably assemble.
Yep.
Yep.
I
think peaceably. I would like to. Were they instigating fights? Patriot Prayer was this group? I don't think that they were.
I don't know.
But at the very, how do I want to put this? At some point, as your city is burning, what is the point where you stand up and you fight for it? We saw what that looked like in Kenosha, Wisconsin, with Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh, that evil person that just showed up there to shoot some Black Lives Matter supporters.
Or, to defend local businesses from crazed rioting looters.
But you heard the whole spin on that, right? The narrative from the media was, oh, he was going there just looking for trouble, trying to shoot people, even though the kid worked in the town, by the way, which that's a funny narrative that just disappeared in the media.
Mm-hmm.
The kid worked in that town as a lifeguard.
Yeah, he crossed state lines.
But that's the closest municipality to where he lives to make money. But we won't talk about that. And a friend of his who lived in the town subsequently, which he was there the day before, helped get rid of graffiti that had happened in the town that he works in.
Yep.
And then subsequently, his friend's dad, who owned a business there, asked him to help out regulate what was going on at a car dealership because idiots were going around. Not just idiots, but pedophiles, by the way, come to find out. Did you hear about that?
Yep, one of the guys
One
who
of the
shot.
things he tapped was a freaking pedophile. But we won't talk about that because there's no direct correlation between liberals and pedophilia. Jeffrey Epstein. But anyways, my point is, that was your Epstein update. We got it in there. I mean, there's no direct correlation between, Bill Clinton having sex with little kids, but not at all. But what's funny is, in the video, this kid is actually shown as helping out a lady who got something thrown at her feet. He literally is like, I'm an EMT. He's helping out people. He's trying to help people throughout the madness that's happening in Kenosha. And there's video of 3 idiots, liberals, shocker. All white people, by the way, not black people, which is ironic for Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Protest.
You mean Antifa who crossed state lines to incite riots?
What was it?
Okay,
Like
that's interesting.
60% of the people arrested in Kenosha did not live anywhere close to there, by the way. They all just came into town to...
Huh. How about that?
That's crazy. But it's bad for Kyle to drive to a place that he drives every single day and work.
To help defend a friend's business.
It's bad for him, but not for the rioters that, were inciting violence.
He was 17. He shouldn't even have had a gun. Why?
Why? What's the age restriction in the Constitution?
Yeah, I don't remember seeing one. I think if I remember correctly, George Washington at age 14 went into the wilderness to survey land by himself, and I will bet my life that he had a weapon at that age.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
It wasn't an AR-15.
Liberals don't consider you an American citizen or a human being until you're 18. So until you're of voting age, because before then they'll kill you in the womb as an abortion, and then they'll rape you as a little kid because they're pedophiles. And then if you make it through all that, then only if you think like then you count. But that's another story for another time, bro. You know what I mean?
A unit of production.
Liberal logic. Unit of production? That sounds a little Marxist, my friend.
Oh, it sounds very Marxist because it is Marxist because the left is Marxist.
That's weird, like Black Lives Matter. That's
Yes.
so strange.
Yes.
So strange. Didn't Marx let 2 of his kids starve to death because he wouldn't work?
Pretty much.
Oh, that's strange. It's weird.
Pretty
no
much
value
watched his kids die.
Oh, like Marxist. That's so strange. But
I mean, he did it for the revolution. That never came about.
Yeah. They're doing it for the revolution too. But yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah.
For all 2 unjustified black homicides by cops. But I digress.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he was
Kyle,
he was so selfless. So selfless.
But Kyle's bad.
Yeah, Kyle's bad.
Because he executed his Second Amendment right and defended himself while pedophiles chased him with Molotov cocktails, skateboards, and tried to take his pistol from him. But watch the video for yourself and check it out for yourself. But I heard a fun fact about the whole case. The same guy that the lawyer that's representing Kyle is the same guy who represented the MAGA hat kid from Covington, by the way.
The Sandman.
Yeah, the same lawyer that just got Sandman paid.
Sweet.
Is representing Kyle, by the way. So
good. That's awesome.
I'm excited. He's gonna get off, but the only thing they possibly can get him for is what is it, crossing state lines with a gun or something like that, possibly. But that's not gonna hold up. I can't imagine a Wisconsin jury looking at the full scope of that situation and actually prosecuting him. But it is what it is. So we'll see how it goes. But that's liberal world, bro. You know what I mean?
It is.
That's what liberals do. But keep in mind, this is all Trump's fault.
Mm-hmm.
All Trump's fault, man.
All Trump's fault.
Trump's the one. Now, keep in mind.
Well, he had the audacity to exist and then to run for president.
But here's what's funny is it's Trump's fault that a guy rapes and beats his wife, then drives over to her home with a warrant out for his arrest to mess with her again, and then he resists arrest and gets shot 7 times. That's Trump's fault. Remember that.
Yeah.
Listen, it's Trump's fault that someone took too much fentanyl and killed themselves. It's Trump's fault. Trump forced Breonna Taylor to date that drug dealer and then get in the trap game with him. I mean, let's get real. Trump did that, right?
Yeah, Trump did that.
Dear God, man. I can't even be facetious about it. It sounds so stupid. This is liberal logic. This is so stupid. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Well, because the liberals don't care. It's not about logic. It's about
Yeah.
winning. Not even the argument. It's about winning the
Yeah.
dominance war. You know?
Yeah.
You just say whatever you have to say to win.
Yeah.
To maintain and increase power and wealth.
100%.
And
Is that
so
like
this douche
right.
mayor from Portland, who's done absolutely nothing to defend the people of his city from violent looters and rioters,
Yeah.
has the audacity to claim that the president, who has offered his services to put
Wait, he
down the
offered his
riots.
services?
What's that?
Wait, a mayor who's supposed to be in control of his city gets offered by the highest office in the United States, as covered by the Constitution.
Support in quelling the riots.
Mm. But he says Orange Man bad for trying to help him out.
He's the one pushing hate and division.
Yep.
It's his fault that they're rioting.
I believe
because
listen, I believe the scientific term for this is called logic. What do you think?
Well,
what do you think?
It doesn't matter what he says. He doesn't believe that.
I can't, bro.
He doesn't believe it.
Oh man.
Or at least if he does believe it, he has absolutely nothing to back it up. And so he'll say whatever he has to say to maintain his wealth and his power.
Yeah. Politicians never lie with their actions, my friend. I mean, let's get real. Most of these Democratic mayors that are letting this crap happen in their city will do nothing until it starts threatening their livelihoods.
Yeah, they'll never lie with their actions unless it's a photo op.
100%. Like, literally, the Seattle mayor didn't shut down CHOP until they started coming to her home.
Yeah.
Like, think about that.
Yeah.
Lori Lightfoot still hasn't done anything in Chicago, even when they come to her home, but she ordered police to protect her place, which is ironic, which is really funny.
We need to defund the police.
Yes.
Except for the ones that I need to guard my home from the rioters that I've enabled.
And don't you get a haircut, but I can. But this is amazing,
This is disgusting.
It is disgusting.
It is infuriating. If you really let it sink in, it's you have to laugh, at the hypocrisy. Yeah, not to boil over with rage.
Well, the thing is this, the chickens have come to roost, man. The chickens have come to roost. And what I mean by that is this. You can only lie for so long. You can only be a jackass for so long.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think the American people view a guy on video saying, hey, we got a Trump supporter, and then blow him away?
Mm-hmm.
How do you think people respond to that? Do you think that they're like, yeah, man, I really want to vote Democrat now? I really want to get on that side.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that people look at these states and these cities run by Democrats
Joe Biden is on the side of murderers?
Yes, but
there's no other way to put that. That's not exaggeration. That's not conflation. He is on the side of murderers.
Definitely not hyperbole. I mean, it is what it is. Like he's literally on the side of murderers, and people are recognizing it. That's why the media and Joe Biden have shifted so hard, because you cannot. It's indefensible now. You can't say these are peaceful protests when people are getting shot simply because they're Trump supporters. You can't say these are peaceful protests when
and then the people and then you get video of people who are just standing around what looks like a peaceful protest saying that they're happy that the person died.
Yep.
So even they are not peaceful protesters.
Did you see that Black Lives Matter support has dropped like 30% since its initial spike after the George Floyd thing?
Yeah, of course.
it jumped up 24% and then dropped 30%. Like people, because now, I mean, the truth's coming out about Black Lives Matter. It's a Marxist group, and people are getting
Truth's
exposed
coming
for it.
out about the George Floyd incident.
Yeah,
Truth
George
is
Floyd,
coming
yeah.
out about all these murders happening all over the country. The city's burning. The businesses burning. The black-owned businesses burning.
Yep.
They don't care. It's not. They are the brown shirts
Hmm.
setting things up, trying to get their boy Hitler
Yep.
into office.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that Joe Biden is literally Hitler, because I'm not a leftist idiot.
No, he's literally.
But
no,
it's the same tactic.
Listen, Joe Biden's literally Kermit the Frog. He is not an actual real person. He's just Democrats.
You see the most recent speech thing where he's like,
Oh, it was
he can't
so
even. Yeah, it's
cringy.
yeah.
But they're propping this guy up. This is the guy you need to vote
It's really
for.
sad. He's
It's not the word for him.
like, he's probably he's not on the side of murderers.
Nope.
He doesn't have the awareness to be on the side
Nope.
of murderers. But his
Nope.
people are. His handlers are. His campaign is.
Yep.
He's just reading what's on the teleprompter and
Yep.
trying to make it through. And it's sad and pathetic.
Yep.
Now,
Oh, it's
Kamala
crazy.
Harris, she's happy to go along to get along,
Oh, of course.
to get that power.
Of course.
She knows if he gets elected, she's president in no time.
100%. But listen, man, that's America right now.
They're all
And
disgusting, man.
Americans are waking up.
It's disgusting. Bro,
Listen.
I gotta say, like, one of my good friends, he voted for Obama both times. We had conversations, and he just couldn't, they were always civil, because he's a good dude like that. But there was just no convincing him that, that Obamacare wasn't a good thing,
Oh, yeah.
and that, all that stuff. And then this last week, he's like, man, he basically said, man, I think I've been in an echo chamber this entire time. Not that it can't happen on both sides, but I think it's happening way more on the left. And I'm not left. I just want people to leave each other alone. And I was
Yep.
like, hell yeah,
Sounds very
bro.
libertarian
Hell
of your friend.
yeah.
Sounds very libertarian of your friend, my friend.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, he's like, I think I'm more libertarian. I just want people to be left alone. And I was
Yeah.
like, me too, brother. Me too.
Amen.
Welcome to right thinking.
100%.
And not just right thinking, but informed thinking, reasonable thinking.
But-
Welcome to the view of the lies. Really,
Yep.
is what it really is. It's not even that I'm so right and so smart and it's just that now I see the lies. I can
Yep.
see the lies.
Yep. And people can't see the lies. That is why they're trying their best to suppress it, because listen, sheeple are sheeple. People are sheep. Okay, I'm never going to discount that. But at some point, the lies fall apart. At some point, you don't have a hot girlfriend in Canada that you only see once every 3 months. Okay, everybody had that friend. I mean, you remember that guy in your high school? Yeah, I've got a totally hot girlfriend and she lives in Canada. I like write her all the time, and no, this that's a little old school. Now it's like, oh yeah, my girlfriend that's online that I send money to every day. I've never actually met her in real life, but she's my girlfriend. That's more the 2020 thing that's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, the reality kicks in. At some point, you start waking up and you're like, Black Lives Matter is not really for black people. Sometimes you wake up and say, oh, all these Democratic politicians say one thing and do a completely other thing. At some point you realize, like, Orange Man bad, but wait a minute, Orange Man's like helping a lot of things. That's weird. He's like doing the things he said he would do. That's strange. At some point, the Rona loses its luster when you've been in a pandemic. Sorry, pandemic. I mean, it's a pandemic at this point. It's weird. I've been in a pandemic for, 7 months out of a 15-day flatten the curve, and I don't know a single person who's ever gotten Rona. I don't know a single person that's died from it. In fact, The CDC just came out with a report and said only 6% of the people that reported deaths actually died from it. At some point, the bottom falls out of the lie. At some point, what does the Bible say? That everything that's done in the dark will be exposed in the light. It eventually will happen, you know? And it's just going to take patriotic Americans to rise up and actually vote, which I think they're going to in droves in 2020, because Trump hasn't lost his base.
I think the lines are gonna be crazy.
Oh, they're going to be out of the. This will be. And what was the report from the Democratic think poll? They're like, oh, there'll be a landslide for Trump, but once the mail-in voting comes in, it'll show that they call it the red mirage. They're trying to call it the red mirage now, or something like that. Or they're already, what Democrats do is they're projecting what they're going to do already, because they don't have the votes and they know it. They know this is going to be bad, but they keep doing stupid things that push people to Trump. They pushed your friend to Trump. Think about that. Hell, they pushed you to Trump. You weren't a Trump voter before. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
They're doing stupidity and they're lying so much that they're pushing you towards Trump. And it's like, what was the one that I saw was funny. Sorry, I keep going to sports, but Joe Biden's running a bunch of ads like Big Ten football isn't happening because of Donald Trump, which is so funny because the week that those ads started coming out, guess what Trump did?
What did he do?
Called up the commissioner of the Big Ten, and now he's pretty much forcing the Big Ten to play football by October. So imagine Big Ten football in Big Ten country, because the Democrats are the ones that shut all this down. Trump's the one trying to get it back. So I guess that campaign ad's not true. And then when you see your precious Buckeyes or Wisconsin Badgers or the disgusting team from up north, Wolverines, playing in October because the Trumpster got on the phone and made it happen, it's going to change some minds. When you've got,
but will they ever hear that he did that?
Oh, the Trump's going to blow that up all day long. The moment the foot hits the leather, Trump's going to be like, "You're welcome, America. I'm the one that made this happen."
That's true.
That's true. Because he's went online on Twitter, blowing that whole thing up with Big Ten. He's like, Big Ten should play football. SEC, ACC, Big 12 are playing. So, it is what it is. But, people will wake up eventually. It's the same thing with the NBA. Remember, the NBA comes back. They were super woke, Black Lives Matter, blah, blah, blah. Their playoff ratings are down 28%, bro. 28%. Playoff is supposed to be the thing that everybody watches. Mm-hmm. That's what people watch with the NBA, because nobody watches the regular season anyways.
Yeah, their ratings, the game's boring.
Now they're even lower. Just because they got exposed a little bit. I don't know if you saw the report, but 20% of NBA players are registered voters. Let me repeat that. 20% of the guys that are telling you that you're a bad white person, that everyone's racist, and that every black person's dying, even though statistically that's not true, and there's Black Lives Matter on the court, Black Lives Matter on the shirt, are telling you how horrible you are and that you should do something and you should get out and vote. They literally stopped a game. I tried to watch one game. Did I say this last week? That I tried to watch the Orlando Tragic because they were in an elimination game with the Bucks.
The Orlando Marxists?
Yeah, well, they had one guy that stood up, so I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, okay? But I tried to watch the Orlando Tragic play a playoff game, which is exciting. They're in the playoffs. The first quarter break, guess what they went to, my friend? Hey, here's the coach of the Orlando Magic. Yeah, it's really important in these times that you vote. You got to really vote. You got to vote. You got to vote. You got to vote. The next day, oh, by the way, only 20% of your players are actually registered voters. But here's the balls on our boy LeBron, as he's completely destroying the NBA with all this woke bullcrap. Mm-hmm. Wears the shirt that says "Vote or Die" the next day to his practice.
Vote or die.
Vote or die. Vote or die. Even though the guys that I represent, only 20% of them vote. 80% of us don't really give a rat's ass, but you need to vote or die the way that we want you to vote. It's so strange that their ratings are so terrible. I'm so confused. I don't understand. I just don't understand, my friend.
Well, just let's all look forward to when the NFL does exactly the same thing.
Well,
that'll be a good time.
Hey, good news. My boy Tyler Eifert put instead of pulling a bonehead like Drew Brees and putting Jacob Blake on his helmet, he put David Dorn on his.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Once again, those racist Notre Dame guys, even though, my boy Lou Holtz spoke at the RNC, Dr. Lou, go Irish. But, those racist Irish, coming through. Listen, I'm sorry that nobody from Miami is revered enough to speak at the RNC, okay? I'm sorry, Matt. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that your players moonlight as criminals, okay? It's Catholics versus convicts, and I'm not a Catholic, but it is what it is, okay? Other than that, it's all about you. I love you. But good showing for the Irish.
We're still better.
And you get to prove it this year on the field. I don't think we'll actually get to play each other, though. I saw the schedule. I'm a little pissed off that we don't play the U. We play Florida State, but I don't think we play Miami, but I got to look at the schedule again to double check that. But it is what it is. But, dude, it has been a 2-hour show. We have absolutely destroyed it. Yes, user 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We already talked about Nancy. I'm sorry. You'll have to go to Plausible Foolishness. You have to go to twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness to check out the episode. And then are you going to stream this on YouTube? You're going to slap this on YouTube?
Yeah. It's going to go on YouTube.
Okay.
It'll be available at plausibleFoolishness.locals.com.
Yep.
And if you become a subscriber, you get that extra half hour where we're off the cuff playing in the show.
No filters.
$5.
Huh?
$5. That's it.
It's only $5.
It's only $5.
To support the show, to take it to the freaking stratosphere. And you get to hear the uncut setup for the show. I love it, man. I'm excited, man. But guys, head over to twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness. Make sure you hit that follow and then subscribe. Head over to YouTube. We're on YouTube as well, looking for Plausible Foolishness. Check us out everywhere, man. Where are we at? We're everywhere, right?
Yep. Instagram. Instagram's probably the main social media hub for us. But we're on Parler. We're on Twitter occasionally.
We're everywhere, man.
Facebook.
I'm on
TikTok.
Parler,
TikTok.
43,000 and growing, man. We're 43,000 and growing.
And only 13 more days left.
Yeah, only 13 more days till TikTok is gone. But you know what? We're everywhere else. We're on News Clapper. Get over to News Clapper. We're on Facebook. We're everywhere. So check us out, man. Dude, it's been an amazing show, my friend.
I agree.
This might be one of our best shows ever. I mean, last week was phenomenal.
What did you expect from two kings?
We'll lead us two kings, man.
We'll lead us two kings.
We'll lead us two kings.
We'll lead us two kings.
All right, y'all. Guys, it has been a phenomenal show. I've got to actually do some work tomorrow morning. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for your support, especially the Strong One Nation on TikTok, especially all the followers on Plausible Foolishness that subscribe.
The Rube Empire.
The Rube Empire. Sorry. I'm listen. There's a potato famine in Iowa, okay? There's a potato famine in Iowa.
You need to go check it out.
No, you got to.
No, you need to go check it out.
But guys, thank you so much for checking us out. We love you guys. Thank you so much. You guys get us fired up every single day to come out and do the show every single week. And eventually we'll take over the world and do this more on a regular basis. But until then, you got to support, got to love. And
tell your friends. Spread the love. Spread the word.
Spread the love. Share the video.
Let's build this empire. Dude, we need more immigrants.
Help us here. Legal immigrants.
We need more legal immigrants.
Legal immigration. Can't say they're on leftists, or they just think, oh yeah, just jump the border. But anyways, hey guys, we thank you so much for checking us out today. And final thought of the day is love God, and He'll take care of the rest. For me, what do you got, big dog?
We have to be a people set apart. All right?
What?
We have to be a people set apart. So, I talked earlier about how thinking about all this hypocrisy, all these lies, all the murder and the death and the destruction, it's natural to feel enraged.
Yep.
Just pure rage. But if you're a follower of Christ, you can't let that rule you.
Amen.
So we have to be a people set apart. We have to realize that the saddest people in the world are those people out there looting and rioting. What kind of life must they have lived? Or are they going to wake up one day and realize that everything that they've done has been a horror show. You know?
Yep.
Or are they just going to keep being a horror show? If you can look at it that way, that's tragic.
Yep.
They're sad.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, and then take a step back and go, but for the grace of God, go
Amen.
I.
Yep.
We have to be different. And that doesn't mean we don't stand up for what's right, and we don't stand up for our rights, and for this country, and for the Bible. We do stand up. We fight evil where it lives, but we can't be ruled by rage.
Absolutely. I love it. Bro, that was the best show ever created. I think there's not been a better podcast than this one.
No. Not until next week's.
Until next week. Till then, see you guys later. Bye.
Peace.